My name's Noah. I'm an alcoholic.
Hi, my name's Gabe, and I'm a codependent.
So, welcome to the stream.
You listening for the sound?
And it sounds good.
Yay!
So, every time I before I start the stream, I unplug that and replug it in. Just in case.
Right. Smart.
Okay. So, today's topic is I understand.
Do you want to do the serenity part?
Yes.
Okay. God,
God,
grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can,
and the
wisdom to know the difference. Amen.
I think your angle's pretty good.
Is it okay?
I mean, it's
Good
like,
enough?
yeah. You look like a sumo wrestler hairstyle.
Yeah. Got my
Okay,
top
nice.
knot today.
Okay, so I understand. We humbly asked him to remove our shortcomings. Once we are entirely ready to have our character defects removed, many of us are entirely ready. Ironically, that's when the trouble really starts. The more we struggle to rid ourselves of particular defect, the stronger that shortcoming seems to become. It is truly humbling to realize that not only are we powerless over our addiction, but even over our own defects of character. Finally, it clicks. The seventh step doesn't suggest that we rid ourselves of our shortcomings, but that we ask our higher power to rid us of them. The focus of our daily prayers begins to shift. Admitting our inability to perfect ourselves, we plead with our higher power to do for us what we cannot do for ourselves, and we wait. For many days, our program may stay one step on step 7. We may experience no sudden total relief from defects, but we often do experience a subtle shift in our perception of ourselves and others. Through the eyes of the seventh step, we begin to see those around us in a less critical way. We know that just like us, many of them are struggling with shortcomings they would dearly love to rid of. We know that just like us, they are powerless over their own defects. We wonder if they too humbly pray to have their defects removed. We begin to evaluate others as we have learned to evaluate ourselves, with an empathy born of humility. As we watch others and as we keep watch on ourselves, we can finally say, I understand. Just for today, God, help me see through the eyes of step 7. Help me understand. It just reminded me I have to text my sponsor back. He texted me this morning.
Good. I love this. Like, steps 6 and 7 are probably my favorite steps. Just because of I don't know, the giant hump of getting over ourselves and accepting that we're not perfect. Like, honestly, that was hard for me to write a fourth step and do a fifth step was, I mean, difficult for sure, but those are like the things that I've done. And then to go to step 6 and 7 is more like facing who I am that made me do those things, my defects of character. I think that's harder. I think that some of those things are really, really old patterns and really, really old crutches. Um, so it's a huge challenge. And like this reading says, giving it to our higher power. I mean, that's something that I find myself doing a lot now because I don't have mastery over the steps. I mean, doing the steps and changing every day and making progress is the goal. But by no means can I say, or, do I think many people can say that their shortcomings are completely removed. I think it's just a work in progress, and so much like giving it to my higher power and accepting that here I am falling back on one of my defects, going into an old pattern, um, and catching it and asking God to remove it. I can't do it. And without supernatural intervention, I mean, I won't do it. I don't have the awareness. So I think just practicing catching those shortcomings and short circuiting old cycles um, is so powerful and can only be done with the help of our higher power. What do you think?
Um, Getting rid of these defects.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, that's what you're saying. And
Mm-hmm. Like, with the help of your higher power, like, yeah.
what do I think?
Mm-hmm.
That's like such a broad question.
Mm-hmm.
Pass.
Well, take it
no,
where you
I
want to
think
go. I mean,
I definitely don't think, or I definitely agree with this when it's not a sudden relief. You really have to put your own work in, and you do, or I do tend to think less critical of other people, just knowing what I've been through and seeing myself and knowing that's exactly where I would be if I wouldn't have gotten sober, and started these steps and went to rehab. I would be in the exact same spot, if not worse.
mm-hmm.
So it's really easy to see that in other people and to feel more like bad for people.
Mm-hmm. Empathy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To feel that empathy and just kind of understand them and
Mm-hmm.
hope for the best.
Mm-hmm. I agree 100%. Like kind of the humility concept that you're talking about. I used to be really judgmental of other people and very um, critical and condescending. If people would just do it my way or see it my way, their lives would be better or whatever.
Yeah. I was mostly doing stuff like that and judging people. Yeah, and like, oh, how dare they control me? It's like, don't they know I'm trying to get home, get wasted? Come on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, that's a whole different thing. Like they're
Yeah.
standing between you and your addiction.
Yeah. And when I first got into recovery, it was the complete, or I was just that judgmental, having that much judgmental, but for people still drinking and like, how dare they? That's like horrible. And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, I agree, but the humility changes all that. I mean, it has for me looking at my defects of character and just getting a more like sober view of that. Like I used to like to judge people for all kinds of perceived wrongs and misconceptions and whatever, but through like a more sober lens, if I look at myself and my life, if I was so brilliant, if I had it so right, then why would I have ended up where I ended up? You know what I mean? Like, why would I be through, like, you know, two failed relationships and failed jobs and failed friendships and everything? I mean, you know what I mean? Like that. I don't even know like how I held up that notion that I was any kind of authority on behavior at all.
mm-hmm.
Like now that we're in recovery, I if I catch myself, judging somebody or, even being irritated maybe with, how they're, recovering or their opinion about something, I have to stop myself and be like, whoa, If you were the expert, your life would show that, you know. So I I love the humility, and I actually love like knowing that I am just like a regular flawed person like everybody else, and I don't have to um, subscribe to a standard of perfection because that's never going to happen, and that would always leave me feeling so just angry, um, resentful, and inferior. You know, because that's unachievable. That's stupid.
Yeah.
Um, there was something else you were saying that was good. Well, anyway, do you have something to say? So I'll think of it. Maybe.
No, I'm just noticing how the stream is shit right now because of our internet. So I don't know if this is even gonna be viewable or anything. So
It looks really good on my screen. Oh,
yeah.
a little like er. I wonder
Hmm.
if it's recording like that. Well, we'll find out.
Well, it's the yeah. I don't know. Maybe today we can call that one company to run lines through here.
Maybe. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it.
Okay. Um. Other than that, I don't know.
I'm trying to think of what you said, something that like sparked something in my brain, and then I lost it. Something about judging other people. Yeah, I don't know. If it comes to me, I'll bring it up next time. But
Okay.
I love this. I try to remember it whenever I'm really stressed and I'm going to my
Mm-hmm.
higher power with, can you fix these things in my life? Can you fix these people in my life? Because I can't bear the discomfort. I often am reminded to pray about myself, that, you know, how can I change to be more accepting and flourish in this situation where my higher power has me. Like logic would say, he's not going to send on a lightning bolt to change you or my work situation or my house or anything else. But if I ask, he might change my heart.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got.
Okay. Guess
Do
we can end it.
okay. Do you want to finish up with the Lord's Prayer?
Yep.
All right. Um, who made cookies? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done,
on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not in temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
See you later, people.